the tone stays the same from
Yeah.
script to script.
Particularly after Robin and Lauren looked at it, I don't think there'd be any way to know.
No.
I think the only, maybe musicals, like I could
Yeah.
see Amy puts a lot of music in her, but I can't think of any kind of signature.
That's an
Well,
interesting question, though.
That's a good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good thing. It
It
means
is an
the show
excellent
has
thing, 'cause
consistency in the writing.
There shouldn't be able, you shouldn't
Yeah.
really be able to tell on any series, oh, so-and-so wrote that, so-and-so wrote that.
You know, there's one I could tell. Dave Polsky always says, "What in the wide, wide world of Equestria?" In every one of his scripts, that's in
Really?
the. It may not make it to air, but it's always in there.
Got a specific tagline.
Yeah, so I would know that was
Is
him,
this,
Funny.
which is a Mel Brooks reference, which is a like NBC Sports reference.
Wow.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Good question.
So the show sometimes tackles serious issues, like in Tanks for the Memories. And I was wondering how you strike a balance between tackling a serious topic and keeping the show a lighthearted children's show.
You should talk about tanks.
Um, I don't. I generally love things that are done comedically. Anyways, like one of my favorite movies is The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, which is about a hijacking of a New York subway, but it's so funny, and the characters are so funny and amazing and awesome. And you gotta see this movie, not the Denzel Washington one, the real one. But I just love that in general when you can take some, because if you look at life, even very serious things, there's absurdity and funny things happen, and you can find ways to deal with serious things in a very funny way. And that episode was based on an episode of Frasier, which is a hilarious show, where Frasier gets fired. He's a radio DJ. He gets fired from the station, and he goes through the 5 stages of grief. So we based that episode off the 5 stages of grief. But how would Rainbow Dash deal with it? And then because she's Rainbow Dash, it's just funny, you know? Seeing her cry like that, and then that setting, the other ponies are not used to seeing her cry, and it just sets off a chain reaction of crying. Like, it's just, the characters are what creates the comedy, I think. You got a serious setting, but then you put these characters in, and funny things happen, I think.
You take a character, put them in a situation they're not comfortable with, and that creates some comedy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, love you all.
Oh, thank you.
Aw.
Not you.
Oh,
I basically had a question about episode 100. Of course, I'm sure all the rest of us bronies would agree that it was absolutely amazing to see a different perspective on the show.
There's a lot who wouldn't agree with that.
I say a lot. However, maybe you guys would be interested in taking our alternate main 6 and showing a different perspective. However, like where the main 6 have the elements of harmony, loyalty, honesty, and things like that. Maybe the alternate main 6 have their own elements of harmony and perhaps even just assist the other main 6 in the things they do. However, I vote for Derpy as princess because I'm all about patterns. But
Yeah.
Was that a question?
more a suggestion.
I
Oh, I
agree.
see. Duly noted.
Thank you.
I think you should probably write something about that. Get started on it.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you very much for doing what you do. In particular, Mr. Larson, my name is Lily. I am a transgender woman who suffers from agoraphobia and social anxiety. And just to be here today is one of the most amazing things I can ever be doing because I'm shaking in my boots. And
Really
Cheers.
happy you're here.
You're in the right place.
As a writer and as somebody who's read so many books over the years, I know that you're not particularly fond or proud of Magical Mystery Cure. That episode in particular truly saved my life. I really believe that if I did not see that episode, I would not have tried so hard to get away from all of those dusty books. So thank you very much, all
Thank
of you.
you. Wow. Thank you very much.
Good job, man. Good job.
I'm definitely not proud of it. It was heavily rewritten, but I'm not proud of it. I watch it and I think it's great. And I say that as somebody who didn't really write it. I watch it and I'm like, that is moving, and I love it.
So for all of you guys, real quick, how does it feel to have done something? How does it feel to have written something that's affected so many people?
It's disgusting.
amazing.
It's
I mean,
awful.
We've all been deeply affected by.
What'd you say?
You said you didn't.
It's disgusting.
He hates it.
Is it scary? Is
It's
it
overwhelming.
So we've all been deeply affected by other people's writing,
Yeah.
both as when we were children coming up and now as adults, and things that we're fans of watching. So to be on the other side of that is incredibly moving and humbling.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Flattering. It's just incredible.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's unimaginable.
Hi. First, I'd just like to thank you all for just making the show as great as it is. And thank you for making these amazing characters, amazing stories that could, well, live on in maybe hundreds of years from now. But to my question.
thousands?
First, have any of you gotten any handwritten letters from fans?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Handwritten? I don't think on this show. I have.
Okay, either handwritten or email. What are the best and worst fan letters you've ever gotten?
Mitch, better take this one.
I don't know.
Please.
I've heard Mitch's, and I don't think you want to hear it.
I mean, the best are when people write and they talk about what that last person said about that this changed their life and that these episodes really affect them. The worst is when they say mean things about your kid, and that's happened, and call you names and say that you're anti-disabled when you have a disabled child and that kind of stuff. That's not cool.
What email said that?
I'm sorry.
We will
A whole
take care of
separate
that.
thing.
But
No, I mean, that's probably a very good point to make is how does something that you've written, when you get negative feedback, how does that affect you in your further writing?
It's not the negative feedback about the writing. I think what Amy said, it's when people who don't know you get personal, and it's a
Yeah.
personal attack. And I've had that not from Pony people, but my late husband's fans could be blatantly racist, and it got scary sometimes. But in terms of the fandoms and the people that love the properties and are writing to say how much they love the property and love your involvement in it, love what you've brought into their lives, that's always fantastic.
yeah.
And getting drawings from kids,
Yeah.
that's always great.
Yeah. I get a lot of kid fan letters because
Yeah.
of the chapter books.
Oh, yes.
And they are just so charming. Every once in a while, I'll get a big stack of them from my publisher, and it's my favorite thing to do is read them. The little handwriting and all the drawings they do, it's just so sweet. I can't even take it. I had one girl say that she really wanted me to be her, like, Princess Celestia and write letters back and forth, and that she wanted me to teach her about writing, and that she also had blocked out a time on Saturdays from 3 to 4 p.m. That was okay for me to come over to her house.
That's
So
adorable.
I thought that was really adorable.
Really
The
cute.
next generation of MLP writers coming up.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hey guys. I just wanted to know if there was any particular character or storyline that you got a really strong reaction from, positive or negative, that maybe surprised you the most at the reaction that it got?
Besides Mitch.
We can't hide behind Mitch, huh?
I have one that everyone hates, but
Oh.
I'm not really surprised, actually. There in my Rainbow Dash book, there's a character called Braze, and everybody hates him. But
Why?
no, it's all right. The biggest criticism that people tell me is that he's like an OC, but my response to that is that he is an OC because I made him up.
Good answer.
Anyone else have anything?
Oh, I'm just looking at the long line of people asking questions. Should we keep going?
I mean, I had some kind of negative stuff with Derpy. I don't know if you heard about that.
We all love Derpy,
I love Derpy.
right?
And yeah, I love Derpy.
Muffins.
And it seems like you can't make Fluttershy cry without getting yelled at.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I was genuinely surprised that Starlight Glimmer was so well received because, quite honestly, like in the script, I was not sold.
You weren't feeling her?
Maybe
Yeah.
it was Kelly's performance or something. I'm not sure, but she really came through, and people loved her.
Interesting.
On the page, I was just like, I didn't do very good there.
She might be coming back, I hear. Might.
We already saw her in
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah.
revealed.
2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
They should have clipped.
Yes.
They should have
She
clipped.
might be
Yeah.
hiding. out
Hanging
there.
around the back.
I think people just loved when she screamed at Twilight to be quiet.
That was funny.
All right. Come on, Thundercats.
I just wanted to thank you all. I've been through a bad time. My mom passed about half a year after I started watching the show, and the show itself actually helped me through it.
Hey.
Nice, guys.
Hey.
Nice.
Boo.
I'm okay with you, bro. I'm okay with you. I
Good
got
answer.
no ill will. I just wanted to thank you all. The show's helped me through a lot of bad things, good and bad. It saved my life. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is a question for just all the writers. When it comes to me personally, this isn't a huge deal, but I do find it interesting when it happens. Continuity, when things
Oh, crap.
just make sense from along.
We're good.
Yeah. The best example I can think of is Amending Fences, when Minuet and she's introduced, and Pinkie Pie says that she was one of Cadence's bridesmaids, and I don't know if that something that you remember, or do you have to go back and watch it and go, wait a minute, she was in this episode, now we have to make sure it makes sense, or...
So, Mitch, how did you pull off the continuity?
Trying to remember exactly that. There was a little bit of collaboration with Jason on that, because I did a bunch of the continuity, but there was some that I didn't. And then I got a frantic email from DHX saying, we got to kill the episode, because Twilight has seen them before.
Oh, really? Thing?
Sounds so horrible. Kill the episode.
Oh, they wanted to kill the episode.
Wow.
Wow.
The script was locked and done, and they wanted to kill it because Twilight had been in the vicinity of the background. Sorry. Let me back up. It's a collaboration. It's a team effort.
I didn't know if it was because of fear of backlash, or wait a minute, we need to make sure people...
No. Jason is a encyclopedia of the show and knows all these things. And I read a lot of scripts, that might have been relevant, and then I watched the pilot again. Obviously, read the pilot script again just to make sure those details, like Spike's gift, that they could actually work. When you're doing an episode like that is so continuity heavy, you got to do a little bit more looking into it as opposed to coming up with a new character. So, yeah, I don't remember what you asked. Sorry.
No, thank you. That answered it. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say I'm a really big fan of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You helped me from my entire life, ever since I was a 9-year-old.
That's a lot of your life.
My question is, what's your favorite pony that's not derpy?
It's a good question.
I'm glad you said that because it would have been a really short answer
Answers
otherwise.
are. Twilight's my favorite pony.
What did you say?
Twilight.
Twilight?
Yeah. Could you tell purple's kind of my favorite?
My favorite pony to write for is Pinkie Pie.
My current favorite is cheese sandwich.
Derpy. Oh, wait, sorry.
I said no derpy.
Rarity is my favorite. You have excellent taste in ponies.
Thank you.
Hello. Well, I just wanted to ask that sometimes I feel as though, Rainbow Dash and Rarity, at some points, they're being sort of held back from accomplishing their, overall dreams. Like, Rarity wants to be like this, really famous fashionista, and Rainbow Dash wanted to join the Wonderbolts, and that being kind of held back by the other main 6. Do you feel that way, or is it something you haven't considered?
Held back by the other main 6? Is that what you said?
Yes.
They have professional aspirations and are being derailed by Harmony.
It's all Pinkie Pie's fault. Pinkie Pie is thwarting their ambitions.
Without saying too much, be patient about Rarity. Hold your horses.
Oh. Yeah, that was good.
I think you need to. I can't remember who said it, but somebody said when you write a TV episode, you're supposed to put the character up a tree in Act 1, and in Act 2, you're supposed to throw rocks at him, and then in Act 3, you're supposed to get him down. So they shouldn't have a very easy, clear path to their goals. I don't know if they should be held back by the other main six. That's not good.
I don't. If that's the way it's coming across, we certainly never intended it to do that. But I think, if anything, the main six really support each other in their dreams and their goals and things. And maybe it just hasn't happened yet for them. But that doesn't mean it will. It won't.
Yeah, because we can't have everybody achieve their dreams, in season 1, because then we don't
Then
have
there's no more
anything
show.
else to write about. So we have to put obstacles, and they have to, and then they depend on each other. So they try and do things for their friends, and sometimes dreams change.
Except Fluttershy, who's vindictive and horrible.
Yeah, she's the worst.
I think we can all agree.
It's a good question.
No, she's a changeling.
She's a changeling.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
Thank you.
I like your wings.
Of course you do.
Hey
They're
guys.
even purple.
Hey.
So I have an Equestria Girl question. So Spike goes through the portal and becomes a dog. If Winona goes through the portal, is she a dragon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's canon.
That's it. That's all I wanted.
Careful here with this water.
She's Flash Sentry's dragon.
I know the water's slowly inching itself. The water's slowly inching itself across the table. We're trying not to be electrocuted up here. I don't know if you guys realize there's
all good.
water all over the
It
table.
was a very dramatic moment where this water
Yes, I know it's
spilled all
coming
over.
really.
It's Drew's fault.
Thanks.
Should we get vinyl?
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Mitch, quick question for you. You may have heard they're unveiling a new Ponies anthology today. By any chance, are we going to see another appearance by you?
Alas, no. Unfortunately.
Sorry, man. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
First off, you guys are really awesome, and my question is for Mr. Larson. You wrote an episode for Gravity Falls. Will you ever come back to it? Do you ever want to come back to it?
No.
Why?
Oh, you want more than that? No, it wasn't a particularly good experience.
Oh, stop.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It really was.
Wow.
No. Not interested. There's other shows. Sorry. I didn't have fun.
I'm sorry.
Not your fault.
That's a good
Maybe it is your
No,
fault.
That's a good question.
No, all right. I came on at the the beginning of that show where they had no episodes to watch and there was 3 outlines to read and they were figuring it out, and it's not their fault that it sucked, but it sucked. They asked me to do another one and I said no. I don't know. I heard it's a good show. I've never seen it.
If there's any more kids in the line, if they can come up to the front.
Pretty long line there. We want to get to everybody.
Again, I'm not slagging off Gravity Falls. Like, I get it. They were really early on. I want to make that clear. I did not have a good experience.
I'm going to bring it back around to Pony and
Sorry,
say that's one of
everybody.
the things that was really neat about writing at the very beginning of My Little Pony is how comprehensive and well-formed the characters and the setting and the tone and everything, thank you, and I'm not going to get electrocuted, yay, was from the beginning. We didn't have any outlines or any, certainly any scripts or any shows to watch in the beginning, and it was very fully formed, tonally especially. The characters
Don't you guys find that it's much easier to come onto a show in season 3 than to be on a show in season 1? When there's stuff to read and stuff to hear.
Yes and no, because it's harder to come up with stories later on.
Right, that's true.
So it depends.
And sometimes I worry about whether I'm capturing the voice that other people have established, whereas if I get to establish it, it's...
Like how Mitch copied you guys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I copied you.
And I copied everyone else.
I literally copy and pasted
Yeah.
Amy's script.
That's a pretty big important part of writing itself, and taking a character and internalizing it is finding that voice. And you can tell if a character is out of character just by listening to what they're saying, because that might not be something that character would say, or they'd say it a different way.
Also, it
And how
helps
they
if you read it
behave.
in their voices.
Yes.
I do that.
So how many of you read in voices? Do you read in voices when you write the script?
Sorry?
Do you read the scripts in their
Well,
voices?
that's what I found so tricky about season 1 is there was nothing to hear. I didn't know Andrea or
Yeah.
Tara, or I didn't know the voices of the characters.
was a
All I could do
dark
read the
time.
scripts.
Yeah.
It wasn't until the season 2 summit when I actually saw animation and heard voices.
Yeah.
Up until then, I could
That's
only
right.
rely on
That's the
what
first
they had
animation I
written.
saw too. Was at the
Yeah.
season 2 summit.
And
I
we heard
forgot
Winter
about that.
Wrap Up
Yeah.
for the first time, and that was when I realized, okay, this is something special. Like, I saw the pilot; it was beautiful. It was just beautiful and funny and well paced, and the music was great. And
Yeah.
First thing I saw was the Find a Pet song.
Really?
Yeah, that was the very first thing of Pony I saw. And then I thought it was adorable, obviously, but I thought that the whole show was just like all musical numbers. So I was like, whoa.
The entire first act. is
Yeah, I
always a
thought
musical.
every episode was going to have a musical thing, but I mean, that would be cool.
That would be awesome.
It would be cool.
It's the theme song that never ends.
It goes on, my friend.
All right.
Hello, this question is for Emmy Larson, and I was wondering, either from examples in fiction or from real-world events, what inspired the Equality Town in season 5?
it's actually not a question for me. Megan came up with that idea, and then Scott wrote a draft of it, and I wrote a new draft of it. So it was already well established when I came in. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
But do you know?
He doesn't. He doesn't know.
I don't know what inspired it. I wrote my draft of it, and I love 1984, and I love that kind of thing. But it was already in existence when I came on.
Wasn't Starlight Glimmer supposed to be like Dolores Umbridge?
Yeah.
From Harry Potter?
She was supposed to be like Dolores
cool.
Umbridge. Scary,
Like,
with the happy face,
yeah.
but incredibly scary at the same time. So yeah, okay, that's a good call. Dolores Umbridge was the inspiration for Starlight Glimmer.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do you guys know Harry Potter? Have you heard of it? It's pretty good. You should check it out.
What did we end up naming that? Larson Town?
Dolores Umbridge.
I think the vote went Stalliongrad.
Stalingrad. Nice.
Hey guys, you've all written episodes that we all love, so thank you very much for all you've written. And most recently, I want to say that Mitch, Mending Fences, really, I think we all watch the show and we think, how would we want to describe to other adults and say, the show has lessons, but they're relatable. You know, you see interviews with like the voice actresses or with you guys and say relatable lessons. I think Mending Fences is a great example of a really mature script.
Thanks.
So I guess it's sort of a two-part question. The first thing is, you guys have all, in my line of work, I actually see the final scripts before they get snipped up, before they go to episodes. And I'm wondering, you guys have all had darlings cut from episodes. You've had great jokes cut out episodes or scenes. And is there, Mitch, you've talked a lot about episode 100, stuff that you wanted to be in there. So if you'd like to talk about some of the stuff that we've missed, we all would love to hear awesome stuff that got cut out and you're behind the scenes bawling about.
What's your favorite thing that got cut from an episode?
My favorite scene was in episode 100. Celestia and Luna are arguing about the gift and who was supposed to bring the gift, and you forgot the gift, and they get mad. And then you cut outside. This was cut from the show. Cut outside, and the Bat Ponies are there with the Royal Guard.
Yep.
And they're cracking each other up, like, no, Celestia does this. And they do an impression of her, and the Bat Ponies laugh. And the Bat Ponies are like, this is what Luna does. Check this out. And they do an impression of her. And then It was just the guards on their off time cracking each other up.
Awesome.
I loved it.
Awesome.
It was very Monty Python, but it got cut for time.
There's a line that I don't know that it got cut, certainly got changed in Suited for Success at the end when Rarity's having her kind of nervous breakdown and the friends are all worried about her, that she's going to become a crazy cat lady. And they say, oh, well, she only has one cat. And then the original line was, it's a slippery slope. And I was heartbroken that I think it got changed to
Give her time.
Yeah, give her time. I know there was still a comment, but I kept putting it back in every draft. I'd get it back, and maybe I'll put it back in. It's a slippery slope. So one of those jokes that you just file away. I'll use it somewhere else.
Cool.
In the last roundup, before Applejack gets on the train, Rarity showed up and gave her this like tricked out saddle, but Rarity kept saying, "This is for the rodeo," and Applejack kept saying rodeo, and it's like, yes, yeah, the rodeo, and yeah, that had to get cut for time. It was a bummer because I wanted her to have a really fancy saddle, and oh well.
You ever had anything cut?
Mine was just all Rarity fainting on couches. No. I actually had an idea that I don't think will ever happen, so I feel safe saying it now, but I kept trying to make it happen either as an episode or as a book. It was like Applejack becomes this like sort of guerrilla artist called Flanksy, and and I really wanted it to work, and everyone was like trying to figure out who it was, and you know, she's just like in the middle of the night, and everyone's very shocked by it in the end. But yeah, that's never gonna happen. But well, wanted it to happen. And one other thing, in my Discord book, it was very musical theater themed. I don't know if anyone's read it, but I had put in a lot of different ponified play names, and one of them was Hoofwig and the Angry Inchworm. And they took that out too, and I was like,
You guys have only gotten better, so keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad they got that.
Hello. Oh, okay. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to answer these two quick questions, but I could not find this information online. But you got Equestria Girls and you got My Little Pony. What are their size comparisons if they were to be side by side?
How big is a pony?
How big are the ponies in there compared to?
So you know when you buy a My Little Pony
Yeah, I was about to-
figure? That.
Well, just
Yeah.
hands-wise. I mean, is there any canon that you've discussed in that, or is it just for
I've
fun?
never seen I don't know anything about
Yeah.
Equestria Girls.
Yeah.
Okay. And the
They
other
might.
quick question was, in the latest episode of the Dream Sequence, I noticed that Fluttershy becomes Flutterbad again. Is there something more deep with that, or was that just the animators having fun?
It was a dream, man.
Exactly. And because I noticed that the others were using powers they liked, and I didn't know if it was something the character had developed an interest in.
She's a changeling.
There you go.
Everyone's gonna be shocked when she really is.
Hello, big fan here. Anyway, I'm just asking, and I'm worried about the reaction this question might get. Would you like to possibly develop the character of Flash Sentry? Yeah. I mean, some of us have seen the leaked Spanish shorts for Equestria Girls 3, and it was brilliant how you managed to have him act in the story rather than just be solely the love interest of Twilight. And I feel like there might be a spot he could fill, particularly since Twilight has a castle and literally no guards. I mean, seriously, what is up with that?
I believe that no guards is because it's the Castle of Friendship, so it's open to everybody.
The door is always open.
I heard somebody say that. I think it was Megan
That
who
sounds
said
like
that.
BS. Flash Sentry got cut out of the 100th episode. There was a moment where, everybody's crisscrossing, and Cranky was running to do something, and Flash was trailing behind him, and he was saying, I don't understand. I wash your car every weekend. I do this for you. I do that for you. Why don't you like me? Why doesn't anybody like me? And they cut it.
Maybe they didn't want to acknowledge that nobody likes him.
Maybe. You like him?
Raise your hand if you like Flash Sentry. Oh, there's a lot of fans.
Hey.
He's a great source of Twitter jokes.
All right, thank you very much.
I don't think any of us have anything to do with Flash Sentry,
No,
right?
nothing.
Well, I did Equestria Girls. But
Okay, so
we did.
blame her. Blame GM.
Okay. All right. As writers, do you believe what you're writing today is better than what you used to see when you were like children during the 90s or 80s?
No. Maybe I have very thick nostalgia glasses. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I kind of aspire to write things that reach the audience on the same level, humorously and emotionally, that the way things like, say, old school Sesame Street really reached me as a kid. I hope that I ever get even close to that.
Okay, and to M.A. Larson, when is the best pony rider going to get her wings?
She did already in Sonic Rainboom.
There was an episode about that.
All right, thanks, M.A. Larson.
Do you even
Good.
watch the show?
Guys, we got
So
1 second.
1 second. We only have 5 minutes left for the panel, so I would say about 3
Rapid
more questions,
fire.
unless you can go really fast.
This is a quick question just for Amy. Now that you're no longer working for riding My Little Pony, but will you still come to visit us all at conventions?
Yeah, I'm here right now.
You are?
Love
Yes.
to have her.
It's a hologram, Amy.
Yes,
still
I'm going to
too.
continue. I'm also going to Equestria LA, and as long as you guys will have me, I will come to conventions.
Yay.
She's going to Larson Con 2016.
It's in my garage.
Larson's garage.
Amy is the first to
She's
announce
booked
guest.
already. I'm trying to get booked right now.
I know, we're in negotiations.
Okay, next one.
Hello, I'm an amateur writer here. It was your writing on the show that pushed me to start writing fan fiction for LP and really get into it. And you all kind of saved my life last month, so I wanted to say thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Speaking of which, question related to fan fiction, not shipping. Don't worry. We're not gonna open that can of worms.
Flash Sentry.
Thank you, Mr. Larson, for opening that can of worms. Now then, well, a lot of the time, we see episodes and we writers for fanfics get ideas. Like, for example, Mr. Larson, Call of the Cutie. I have this huge idea about Applejack staying in Manhattan. We have ideas for Flutterbat stayed Flutterbat, etc. What do you guys think of that? You know, us taking what you guys make in the show and expanding upon it, changing it, twisting around. What do you think? It's like, do you feel we're screwing around with your work, or do you feel we're putting an interesting spin on it? I'm curious to know.
They don't read it.
I know, I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
We're
about the
not allowed
concept.
to read it, but we're aware that it goes on,
know.
certainly. And we've all been fans of properties. And I know my friends and I years ago made a Star Wars fan film called Troops that was a parody of cops in the Star Wars universe. Thank you. But so that's its own fan fiction, I love it. I think it's fantastic to inspire people, any kind of creative outlets. It's great.
Yeah, 100%. I think if what we do, inspires you, that's awesome. And of course you're going to start thinking about the characters and what else they would do, off of those episodes. And it's cool that it got you to start writing.
I think it's awesome too. The only time it's not awesome is when someone gets mad at you because you did something different than what they
That
thought.
contradicts the fan fiction. Yeah.
Headcanon.
But otherwise, keep it up.
Yeah.
Great work.
It's one of the things that makes me nervous about panels like this, because it's, I get asked about what it was Rarity trying to do at the beginning of Secret My Access with the gem. Was she manipulating Spike to get the gem? And I'm just like, who am I to answer that? Let the fan fictions flow, You guys can interpret this stuff and these tiny little details of episodes that we didn't even notice into entire stories, and it's unbelievable. I love it.
Yep.
And I would rather not put walls up around that and just let you guys go nuts.
Thank you, Mr. Larson. Also, big fan of all your work. And if you see Cindy Morrow, please tell her I said thanks for Sisterhoods.
Cool.
Will do.
Cindy's a changeling. Excellent cosplay.
Excellent episode.
Look at that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Metal Gear. Anyway,
I was wondering, is there any premises that you really like that got cut in an episode, or are there any premises that you really want to write about but you're not allowed to?
I don't know if we're allowed to say that because things always have a
I
way
said
of
my
coming
Flanksy
back.
one, which, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Still not going to happen.
It's not going to come back?
I was
Okay.
constantly pitching sea ponies every season, and never.
You never know.
It's like
You never know.
Yeah.
That's still continuing. Everyone's always pitching.
Everyone's
Seafood.
always
Yeah.
pitching that. You never know.
Yeah.
I had one I can tell you. I've said it at other conventions because it's dead.
Okay.
It's as dead as anything can be. But you know the map, right, from season 5? So I pitched a map episode called Philadelphia Ragtime, where the map called Applejack and Rarity to Philadelphia. Because I was like, we've heard about this place, never seen it. And they show up and everything's great, and there's a huge crowd, and like, why are we here? What's going on? They go over to the crowd, and Flam has been elected mayor of Philadelphia. And he's like, my first act is to like outlaw cider. So Applejack's like, oh my God, we rely on our exports to Philadelphia to keep the farm afloat. So she becomes a bootlegger, bringing.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, Rarity figures out the friendship problem, and then it would have had all this great like ragtime piano music. It would have been awesome, but it was too adults. So it's dead. It's dead.
Thank you.
All right, thanks everybody.
So unfortunately, that is our time for the day.
Time is up.
However, Charlotte has an autograph session.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah, thank
Charlotte.
Thank you, everybody. This is great.
Charlotte has an autograph session between 6 and 7, and Jillian and Amy will be part of the match game at 5:45 back in this room.
Come and see us.
All three of us?
Get out there and ride, everybody, so you can become like they are.
Nice.